Flathead Lake is Montana's largest lake. It is a natural lake in the Mission Valley formed by glacial damming of the Flathead River by the Polson Moraine during the last glaciation. More recently, the Kerr Dam was erected near Polson as a source of hydroelectricity, further expanding the lake. The lake sits in the Mission Valley that was formed through tectonic activity, with the possibility of earthquakes still existing today. Seen through the incredibly clear water are colorful rocks from the approximately 1.5 billion year old belt formation carried to this area by glaciers. So now we're up here in the mountains high above Flathead Lake, and we're on this glaciated bedrock surface. So as I walk down here, you start to see different glacial features. I'm here with my colleague Yen Gavillot, and we're going to have him show you a couple things that he does when he works here on these materials.
So what we're looking at here is the glacial polished surface. And so in this particular place, what I'm looking at is not only am I mapping rocks, but also mapping geologic surfaces and landscapes that have been affected by quaternary process. And in particular here, these are glacial scratches or glacial striae and grooves that are left from the vestige of this glacial process that scoured this bedrock. And so one of the things I'm also doing is, and not only I'm looking at the rocks, but also dating the exposure of the surface once the ice was on it and receding. And so we're using this dating thing called cosmic nuclides. And these are cosmic rays that are affecting the ground surface, and we can date that surface when it's starting to be affected by weathering. And so we can date the timing of these glacial advances and retreats to decipher this history of glacial history in the Flathead Valley and as left of Flathead Lake.
So you can see one of the amazing things about working at the MBMG is getting to come out to beautiful places like this. People like Yen learn all about the geology of Montana. So here we are up above Flathead Lake in the forest. And what I'm walking down right now is a fault scarp. And so Yen Gavillot is an MBMG mapper who's out here mapping these faults and the rocks. And this scarp he mapped is about 20 feet of displacement. So the valley in front of me dropped down. Right here at my feet are some of the rocks that make up the glacial moraines in this area. And so these are the rocks that make up the Mission Mountains. So you see these in the moraines, and you also can see some rocks that have traveled long distances down from Canada from the continental glaciations. So I'm walking down this fault scarp, and it's part of the reason that the valley that Flathead Lake is in is here. So a combination of glaciation and tectonics, faulting, is what created the valley that then filled in with water to make Flathead Lake. Here we are down at lake level on beautiful Flathead Lake. If you look across the way, you'll notice all of the hills are smoothed off on the other side of the lake. And that would have been because of the glaciation that came through here and rounded everything off and also carved out a bit of this valley. The valley was also, of course, downdropped by the faulting on the front of the Mission Range, mountain range. And so if you look down at my feet, you can see all of these colorful rocks, and those would have come from north, Glacier National Park and up into Canada, and brought down by the big continental glacial ice sheet. Just a beautiful spot. Formed by a combination of faulting and glaciation, Flathead Lake is a wonderful place to ponder the scale of geologic time as we sit and watch a beautiful sunset.